Hi, it's Jon Binnie. I'm going to take you through the new lithium batteries that we've got for our motorhome. So our motorhome is a Rollerteam Autoroller 746 made in 2018. And I've been doing some upgrades and added two lithium batteries. So I replaced the leisure batteries with two 100 amp hour lithium batteries. And this video, I'm going to take you through the app that I use to control them and a lot of the features that I found really useful as we're camping around Scotland and England. Hope you enjoy. So I'll show you where one of the batteries is. It's stored under the passenger seat. So this is the cab of our motorhome. And just under here, you can see this is the battery here. It's slightly taller than the lead acid battery that was there before. But as you can see, it fits pretty snugly. And so it's nice and safe down there. It doesn't need ventilated. It works really well at with temperatures. And you can also just click on this and it'll show, eventually it'll show and light up and just show the voltage on the battery, which is really handy. And then the second battery is under here. I won't show it, but it's annoying that they're both far apart because it means I have super thick cables running through between the two of them. I had to join them up in parallel. Okay, so this is the app I'm going to show you. This is my Android phone, and the app is just here. So you can download this. This is the admin app. And as you can see, with Bluetooth enabled on my phone, I can see two batteries. And through this app, I've been able to rename them to Rollerteam and Rollerteam 2. And so you access each battery individually. And when I click on xiaoxiang, it'll connect into that battery and I can show you through the features. So yeah, in the first display, you get quite a lot. The first thing you can see up at the top, this is the amps that are being used. So minus means they're being drained from the battery. Now I've actually got my fridge, my compressor fridge on electric just now, and it's running through my inverter, so it's not the most efficient. But somewhere between that and the solar power I'm receiving on this very dull Scottish day, I'm getting about minus 1.6 amps. I found that I can use about 6-7 amps running the fridge, which, as you can tell from the time left, it's varying a bit as the solar goes up and down, but I think I can run my fridge for around 10 or 12 hours. But that's with it being constantly on. So it was only turned on a couple of hours ago and it's busy going down to the right temperature. Anyway, that's my fridge. Let's talk about the app. So here I have the voltage. So if I click on this 13.3 on the right hand side, I can see this really useful graph. And if I pinch and zoom, I can zoom in. What you see are the remaining capacity. So this orange line going across the top is how much capacity I have left. So I can see that I started my day much higher. I could see that it was around 8+%, and slowly over time it's come down to 60, 70%. And then I can also see the current as well. So the scale on the right hand side shows the current, and that's been jumping up and down. You see -6 is when it's been when the fridge has been on constantly. So what's really interesting about this graph is you can see when you turn on a fridge how it drops. You know, it goes down to -6 amps of usage, and then it starts to change as the less amps are given as it starts to reach its temperature. And so I suspect it'll start going up and down more as it reaches its desired temperature. So this is really handy over time. It also shows the total voltage, which is the line at the bottom, which is pretty. It sustains pretty high on these batteries until the very low percentages. Then I have the 4 cells. So my batteries have they're made up of 4 cells each, and here I can see each individual one. So if I touch on, say, number 2 at the bottom right, what this does is it'll give me like the actually I don't click on the number 2. I touch this, which is the up arrow, and here if I touch on that individual cell, I can see the performance of the cell, which is really interesting. So you notice that their voltages are much lower. It's because they're wired up in series or series parallel. And what that means is that you can go through each of the batteries and check how each of these cells within the batteries are working, and see their history over time, which is really cool. There's time left, which is an estimate, which is pretty useful, and the temperature definitely more useful for lithium. I could be wrong, but I think lithium care a bit more about temperature. I know the lead acid batteries do as well, but the temperature is really interesting because you do see the remaining capacity vary with temperature. And then on the bottom left, I can click on this and it gives me this kind of score to see what is the uniformity between each of the cells, which is really handy just to make sure they're performing well. And on the bottom right, this is a really cool like audit. So it's like showing over periods of time what the highest and lowest voltages are, what the temperatures were, etc. So you get a feeling of the performance of the batteries over time. Yeah, so that's like the main kind of interactions. I tend to look most at the bottom of this wheel and just see the number 63% there, and also how many amps I'm using. If I'm boiling a kettle, it will go up to close to 45 amps. And then if I touch the menu on the top left, you can see that this is the battery I have access, Rollerteam 1. And if I wanted to switch, I could unlink it and then touch Rollerteam 2 and then go in and see that. And here I can see the again the voltage, and hopefully there'd be roughly the same capacity in each, but they can vary depending on how you've set them up and how you're using them. And then there's also a lot more you can do. So there's like the app settings. Here is where you can rename the battery, which is really handy. You can also reset the pin number, which is great because you don't want people just coming in and turning off your off each of your batteries through Bluetooth. There's showing the different functions. You can also, I didn't cover this, the charging and discharging. This is a really cool feature. So if I touch on discharge, what will happen is it'll turn off the battery's ability to really give any load. So it still shows the voltage, but what it does is remove the ability for any real ampage to come through. And that's a great way of protecting your battery. But also if there's a problem with your electrics, you could just go into the app and turn off your two batteries. And I think I will use this, for instance, if I run my fridge overnight, it would allow me to just turn off the discharge on one of the batteries and retain that power. So no matter, I could then let the appliance that's draining my power, just let it run out on one of the batteries. And it's safe to do on the lithium batteries. Same with charging. You can disable the charging as well, but maybe use it less. There is parameter setting. There's many. There's 52. I haven't touched any of these. These are more advanced. But yeah, it may also offer the ability to change like the lowest voltage. So there may be something in here I look at to have like a minimum discharge value, and that they would actually stop giving power. And that would be really cool because it'll allow me to stop draining the power completely overnight. If I was worried, I could go in here and change that. And what else do we have? I think we covered parameter view, 59. And so in here, this is really, I think this is all the values that have been set. And then just the battery state. Oh, I didn't notice you can go to the right here. So basic information, battery voltage, protection information. So that's really handy. And then, yeah, that's it. And then you just have the dashboard. So yeah, really, really happy with these batteries and look forward to exploring their use more. Yeah, in summary, really love the new batteries. I'll put a link in the description. Really enjoyed the fact that you can use all their available capacity and safely do so. They're so controllable with the Bluetooth app, and the admin version is much more flexible than the standard user one. And even though I have one of these battery monitors that tells me the throughput of things like my solar and my battery-to-battery charger, I found that the individual batteries, really understanding how they're behaving is really, really useful. So yeah, definitely recommend the lithium batteries. We've had them for a few weeks now, and we're going away for 2 more nights in them. We're quite heavy users. We tend to have our kids gaming laptops and Xbox and TVs and stuff, and boiling kettles and all kinds of stuff running. You can even run your heating for short periods of time, like your electric blown air heating off them. So yeah, that's it's great to have that flexibility, and I'm really happy. I think if anything, the next thing I would do would be upgrade a bit of our solar. We just have one 120 watt solar panel, but I think that will be the next project. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and please like and share, and yeah, let me know what adventures you've had with upgrades in your motorhomes and camper vans. Thank you. Send love from Scotland.